Congratulations on the engagement, except for the part where the groom was mine. Oh, I know who you are. I've been waiting for you to show up.
Congratulations on the engagement, except for the part where the groom was mine. The room went dead silent. 500 pairs of eyes snapped to one woman all at once under the blaze of the chandeliers. Adela held every single one of those stares head on, not a wrinkle in her dress, not a tremor in her jaw. But this story didn't start today. To get to the beginning, you'd have to go back 3 months to a rainy night in Paris. Paris, September, rain coming down steady. It was the last night of Fashion Week, and while everyone else piled into the after-party, Adela sat alone at the hotel bar, senior auditor at a global fashion house, a title that looked good on paper. That night, though, she was just a woman who'd gotten caught in the rain. Then someone sat down next to her, a man who ordered the same drink without a word, tie half undone, watching the rain streak down the window like he had nowhere else to be. He's hiding from something, too. His name was Kang Jae-hyuk. The two of them talked until 4 in the morning, and when they finally said goodbye, he left her with nothing but his name. No company, no title. 2 months later, back in Seoul, they found each other again, and neither one let go. Adela didn't push to know exactly who Jae-hyuk was, and he didn't ask about her either. That was the mistake. For both of them. Being with you makes Seoul feel like somewhere I've never been before. Seoul has always been somewhere I've never been before. Jae-hyuk laughed. Adela couldn't shake that laugh. Too bright for someone who seemed, underneath it all, like they were hurting. Then, 1 month after that, an invitation landed at Adela's office. The names on it read, Oh Seojin Kang Jae-hyuk. Adela stared at those names for a long time. Kang Jae-hyuk. There can't be 2 of them in Seoul. She didn't cry that night. Didn't pack a bag either. Instead, she opened her laptop. She pulled out 3 years' worth of files on the contract fraud. Oh Seojin had been running and forwarded them to corporate auditing with one line added at the bottom. Requesting on-site audit. Location the engagement party. And so today, Adela hadn't come as a guest. Seoul Grand Intercontinental Grand Ballroom. 500 guests filling every seat. Oh Seojin's right-hand woman, Mrs. Park, stepped into Adela's path. Pearl necklace, beige blazer, dressed up nice, words anything but. These seats are reserved for family. Outside guests, especially, someone like you need to move to the other side. Everyone in that room knew exactly what someone like you meant. Some looked away. Some held their breath. Adela wiped the smile clean off her face. Slowly, deliberately. Congratulations on the engagement, except for the part where the groom was mine. The moment those words dropped, 500 people stopped breathing. The color drained from Oh Seojin's face, and at the entrance to the ballroom, Kang Jae-hyuk, sharp in his tuxedo, stopped walking and looked straight at Adela. Their eyes locked. The longest 3 seconds in the world. Kang Jae-hyuk took 3 steps. From the entrance to where Adela was standing, exactly 3 steps. 500 people watched those 3 steps without making a sound. Jae-hyuk came and stood beside Adela without once glancing at Oh Seojin. His eyes were only on her. Been waiting long? No, I timed it perfectly. That short exchange split Oh Seojin's heart clean in 2. Jae-hyuk, what do you think you're— This building is mine as of today. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. The room froze for the second time. Oh Seojin's lips began to tremble. In the back, Mrs. Park's hand was already moving frantically, texting Chairman Eom. Chairman Eom Gi-jun walked in 4 minutes later. White hair combed back perfectly, a man in his 70s. But those eyes, they belonged to someone who'd been fighting for 70 years. The moment he spotted Jae-hyuk, his voice came out low and hard. What the hell do you think you're doing? Attending an engagement party, sir. Your daughter's. Not a single waver in Jae-hyuk's voice. Hard to believe this was the same man who'd been bowing his head before this old man for 20 years. Eom Gi-jun gave Adela a quick once-over and twisted his lips. This is because of her? Jae-hyuk, are you out of your mind right now? Out of my mind. Yeah. For the first time, I'm thinking straight. But Jae-hyuk kept those words inside. Instead, he quietly placed his hand next to Adela's wrist, not grabbing it. The choice had to be hers. Adela looked at that hand, just a glance, then she raised her eyes. She looked straight at Aeom Gi-jun. Something in her gaze must have read clearly, because the chairman's brow tightened for the first time. I'm not here as a guest today. I'm with the audit team. Only then did Aeom Gi-jun notice the badge on Adela's lapel. Global Fashion House Headquarters logo. Audit Team ID. The color washed out of Oh Seo-jin's face. Mrs. Park's handbag hit the floor. Adela hadn't shown up at the engagement party just because of Jae-hyuk. This venue had been designated as an audit site from the very beginning. The guests started murmuring. Oh Seo-jin grabbed her father's sleeve. Dad, get her out of here right now. Do you know what she's trying to pull? Be quiet. Those two words and Oh Seo-jin went rigid. Her father had never once told her to be quiet. Not once in her entire life. Aeom Gi-jun pulled Jae-hyuk aside to a corner. Adela was left standing there alone. Don't run. You made it this far. Two more members of the audit team came through the ballroom doors. Adela steadied her breathing. The day hadn't even really started yet. The conversation between Aeom Gi-jun and Jae-hyuk in that corner lasted less than 3 minutes. But the face Jae-hyuk came back with was different. An expression she'd never seen on him before. Something solid, just slightly cracked like a wall with a hairline fracture running through it. Let's step outside for a second. What did he say to you? Later. Now. Jae-hyuk walked without answering. Adela followed. The hallway outside the ballroom, a corner where the chandelier light didn't reach. Jae-hyuk stopped and turned. The chairman says he has leverage on your visa. He's saying he can have you deported. There it is. The move I saw coming. Adela didn't flinch, like she already knew. Jae-hyuk caught that look and felt something click into place. You knew, didn't you? From the beginning, every single move he had. Adela didn't answer. She just turned toward the ballroom and said quietly, Let's go back in. This isn't over yet. Jae-hyuk watched her profile for a long moment. The same face he'd first seen at that hotel bar in Paris. Not someone who'd come in from the rain, someone who'd decided to stand in it. The morning after the engagement party, Seoul tried to swallow Adela whole. It started on social media. Someone posted photos from the ballroom the night before shot from the worst possible angles. Adela looking like she was clinging to Jae-hyuk. Jae-hyuk looking like he wanted to be anywhere else. The caption was worse. Foreign woman crashes high-profile engagement party, causes scene. It took less than 2 hours for the comments to pile into the hundreds. 3 anonymous calls came into the main line at Adela's company, all saying the same thing. Does management know about her visa situation? Manager Choi, head of the Korea office, called Adela in. The look on his face said he didn't want to be having this conversation. He was a decent man, but even decent men crack under enough pressure. Adela, I got a call from HQ. They're saying to put the audit on hold for now. On hold? The word from above is to leave the O Group matter alone. You know how much weight they carry here in Korea. And there's the second move. Adela nodded. Then she walked back to her desk and opened her laptop. Exactly 12 minutes after receiving the order to stand down, she sent an encrypted file directly to the head of global auditing at headquarters, bypassing the Korea office entirely. Jae-hyuk showed up outside Adela's office that evening, waiting for her as she left for the day. Collar turned up against the cold, standing under a streetlight. Adela spotted him and didn't slow down. Are you following me? I was waiting for you. Why? I'm worried about you. You don't need to worry about me. Jae-hyuk stepped in front of her, looking at her face, really looking at it for the first time. Stop, please. You don't know what Chairman Aeom is capable of. I do. You don't. The day you didn't choose me, I already decided I'd stand on my own. So save the concern. Jae-hyuk went still. Adela walked past him without looking back. 2 blocks later, 1 tear ran down her face. Just one? Oh, Seo-jin's counterattack came faster and dirtier than expected. Details about Adela's family in Nigeria started leaking out twisted, out of context. Online, rumors spread that Adela's approach to Jae-hyuk had been calculated from the start. You could see the way Oh Seo-jin's people operated. Precise, ugly, and never once getting their own hands dirty. Adela screenshotted every single one, logged the dates, traced the sources. She stayed up nearly 3 nights straight. Then on the 4th night, a video file from the engagement venue's hotel CCTV landed in her inbox. No sender name. The subject line was 3 words. "You should open this." Adela opened it. In the footage, Oh Seo-jin was meeting someone in the hotel's back office 2 hours before the engagement party. An envelope changed hands. Adela confirmed the face of the person receiving that envelope and pressed her lips together. It was Manager Choi. "Got everything I need." The trap was set. All that was left was to close it. Okay, at this point, isn't it almost hard to breathe? The woman who walked into that engagement party alone was actually holding the strongest hand in the room all along. This isn't just a revenge story. It's the story of one person who gathered her own evidence and held her own ground when no one else was going to do it for her. Some people get harder the more you try to break them. Adela was one of those people. The brand launch event was something Oh Seo-jin had been building toward for a full year. A new fashion line from the O Group. Over 200 VIP buyers and press from across the country were invited. Oh Seo-jin was different that morning. She was smiling for the first time since the engagement party disaster, the smile of someone who believes it's already over. "We end this today. Get that woman out of this country by tonight." Her assistant nodded. Word had already come in that the immigration paperwork was in motion. Oh Seo-jin hooked in her earring in front of the mirror, the corner of her mouth lifting. She had no idea how long that smile was going to last. The event was being held on the rooftop of the Gangnam flagship store, 5th floor, floor-to-ceiling windows with the Seoul skyline spread out on the other side. Adela was in the building lobby 30 minutes before the event started. Business attire, audit team badge on her lapel. 3 colleagues behind her. A security guard blocked the way. Anyone not on the guest list cannot be admitted. Check the list again. Global Headquarters Audit Team, there should be an official audit notice on file. The guard checked his tablet. A moment later, his expression shifted. The notice had been filed 4 days ago. Adela used the pause to press the elevator button. It was Mrs. Park who spotted Adela stepping out onto the rooftop. Her face locked up. She leaned in and whispered urgently to Oh Seo-jin. Oh Seo-jin set down her champagne glass and walked over. No smile this time. "How did you get in here?" "Through official channels. Do you have any idea what you're doing right now? Do you know where you are?" The O Group fashion line launch event, which is also, as of today, the site of a formal audit by global headquarters. Oh Seo-jin's eyes went narrow. She scanned the audit team members standing behind Adela. Then her voice dropped. "Who's the whistleblower?" The entire room was watching the two of them. Adela took 1 step forward, 2 steps from the microphone stand. "The whistleblower you've been looking for?" "That's me. Sorry to keep you waiting." The room froze. 200 people held their breath. Adela's colleague opened a laptop connected to the main screen. Oh Seo-jin lunged toward it. "Turn it off! Turn that off right now!" Too late. Files were already opening on the screen. Contracts, revision histories, signature lines with altered dates, traces of deleted originals, and then the back-office CCTV footage from the night before the engagement party. Oh Seo-jin's face sharp and clear, handing over the envelope. Oh Seo-jin grabbed Adela's arm. An audit team member stepped between them. Oh Seo-jin screamed, "How dare you! You think you can actually do this to me? I can..." 2 words, but those 2 words landed in 200 ears and didn't leave. I can, spreading like an echo that wouldn't quit. Gi-jun walked in just as the 3rd file was going up on screen. He looked at the screen, then at Oh Seo-jin, then at Adela, and he said nothing. For Oh Seo-jin, that silence was the most terrifying thing in the room. Jae-hyuk came through the doors right after. His eyes met Aeom Gi-jun's, 20 years of history sitting in that look. Jae-hyuk walked past the old man and stepped up to the microphone. "I'm calling off the engagement. The reason is standing right over there." Oh Seo-jin's champagne glass slipped from her hand and shattered on the floor. That sound was the only thing left on the rooftop. Jae-hyuk walked toward Adela. She didn't stop him. There was no reason to. What Adela had come here for was already done. That's enough. Under the Seoul sky, Oh Seo-jin found herself unable to do a single thing. Her father, her money, her name, none of it was on her side today. Not one bit of it. Starting the day after the launch event, Seoul changed. The O Group's stock started bleeding the moment the market opened. It took less than 3 days for the results of the global audit to reach the press. Contract fraud, procurement kickbacks, shell companies, the titles in front of Oh Seo-jin's name started falling away one by one. Chaebol, heiress, fashion director, heir apparent to the group. Oh Seo-jin assembled a legal team. Aeom Gi-jun went quiet. Mrs. Park deleted her social media accounts. It took less than a week for all those loyal insiders to go silent. That's just how power works. When you didn't build it yourself, there's nobody left when it comes down around you. Jae-hyuk came looking for Adela 10 days later, outside her apartment building, standing there in his coat, just like the first time in Paris. The difference was that this time, his face was sober, clear-eyed, and somehow because of that, more exhausted looking than ever. "You're waiting again?" "Waited a lot longer this time." Adela didn't open the door, but she didn't close it either. She leaned against the doorframe and looked at him. "I have something I need to say." "I'm listening." Jae-hyuk started talking with his hands still in his coat pockets. Slowly, without looking away once, Jae-hyuk's story started 20 years back. Jae-hyuk at 14. The debt his father left behind. Aeom Gi-jun paying it off. And everything that came after, things that looked like choices but weren't. He said he'd never said any of it out loud. Not because he was ashamed, but because he didn't think saying it would change anything. "The day I met you in Paris, it was the first time I thought things could actually be different." Same for me. But Adela swallowed those words. There was still more she needed to hear. "I stood at that engagement party because I was a coward. I don't have anything to say to you. No apology, no excuse." Adela looked at him for a long moment. Then she opened the door a little wider. "Come in." "I'll make coffee." Jae-hyuk blinked. That was all. No forgiveness speech, no grand reconciliation, just coffee. 2 days later, Jae-hyuk met with Aeom Gi-jun, the first time in 20 years that they sat across from each other as equals. Aeom Gi-jun looked old, like he'd aged 10 years in the past week. "You satisfied now?" "Yes, sir. I am." "She really means that much to you." Jae-hyuk thought about it for a moment. Then he said, "The person your daughter decided to step on just happened to be everything to me." Aeom Gi-jun didn't ask anything else. Jae-hyuk didn't say anything else. 20 years of debt settled in a single sentence. There are times when words are everything, and times when silence is everything. That day was a silence day. Oh Seo-jin stood in a courtroom 3 months later. On sentencing day, Adela didn't go. Instead, she went back to the place where she'd first been stopped. The Grand Intercontinental Ballroom. No event today, just an empty hall with the chandeliers still on. Adela stood in front of that table. Then, slowly, very slowly, she pulled out a chair and sat down. Alone in an empty ballroom. And yet, somehow, it was the fullest she'd felt in a long time. "You're not allowed to sit here. This seat isn't for someone like you." Adela smiled at the memory. She set her bag on the chair beside her. Then she heard footsteps. Jae-hyuk. He sat down next to her without a word. "How did you know I'd be here?" "I just knew it'd be you." The two of them sat looking out at the empty ballroom. The chandeliers swayed gently. This time, nobody stopped them. Not a single person. "You probably thought you buried me, but I didn't stay buried." Jae-hyuk laughed, the same laugh she'd first seen in Paris. Too bright, but this time, coming from someone who wasn't hurting anymore. Adela was never thrown out. She never fell apart. What she held on to until the very end wasn't anger. It was evidence and a seat at the table and the belief that she deserved to be there. When someone decides you're not allowed in a room, the strongest answer isn't an argument. It's just walking in and sitting down. Oh, Seo-jin's biggest mistake was not knowing who she was dealing with before she made her move. A person who is truly solid inside only grows deeper roots the harder you press down on them, and eventually those roots wrap around the ankle of the one doing the pressing. That's as true now as it's ever been. And there's one more thing this story asks us to sit with: the difference between living as a coward and living with courage isn't some sweeping, dramatic decision. It's offering someone a cup of coffee. It's sitting down quietly in the chair next to theirs. Those small choices, stacked one on top of another, are what changed 20 years of one man's life. That seat in the ballroom where Adela and Jae-hyuk sat side by side, it was theirs from the very beginning. This story is a work of fiction,